All right, good morning. Is the sound okay? Okay, great. Sorry for the delay. We were making sure we got the video going so folks at home could watch as well. So I'm not Mike, obviously. As you may know, Mike is out of the office. He is in Montana meeting with his builders on his new home. So he was not able to be with us today. Lori is out as well, enjoying a long weekend. So you have me. Thank you very much. When I showed up, there were probably 3 people in the room and I thought, oh my gosh, they're not coming because I'm here. So just briefly to go through our agenda, we'll start by introducing our new folks, our staff, and our new residents. Alex Tibbetts, our VP of the Board of Trustees, is here today, and she's going to talk a little bit about our new incoming CEO. We'll get some department activities updates from our various departments. We'll hear from our UW students on their fall prevention survey that they've been doing. We'll hear from our philanthropy chairs, and then we'll close up with some announcements and some bright spots. So we will not delay any further. So I would like to introduce Celerina for introducing our new employees. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Nice to see all your beautiful faces. All right. Let's see if I can do this without any assistance. Technology's on my side today. All right, so you all know my spiel. You all know that I get the privilege of meeting all of our new hires. They're stuck with me on their day one, and so it's me that they sit with. I make sure that they know all of the requirements. It's going to have to change now because, as you all know, soon a lot of you will be mask-free. But I am still making sure with our new hires that they are providing me their most up-to-date boosters. Hopefully by next week, if you haven't already, you'll be running into these 2 people and you'll be able to see their faces without masks, because I can let you know they're all update on their boosters. So for life enrichment, there's some changes. We have a new position that we're introducing. And so we have Gina, who's coming to us as our life enrichment coordinator. Excited for life enrichment because this is really going to help Ildika and her team. And so we're happy to have Gina be a part of Horizon House. If you see Gina, she has a bright and beautiful personality. When you see her, you say hello and tell her welcome. And then next is Kevin. Kevin will be coming to us as an elder care assistant for assisted living. Kevin he was stuck with me on Tuesday and we did our onboarding. However, Kevin will not start until next week on the 1st. So if you see him around, please extend a welcome. Now, Megan is not new to Horizon House, but I did want to tell you all about her transfer and her promotion. So Megan started with us as an elder care assistant in August of 2022. And we're happy to announce that she will be joining the life enrichment team as a life enrichment associate. However, she will still be on call as an elder care assistant because she loves working with the residents so much. So we're happy that she's taken on both of those roles. And now I get to introduce our lovely sales director, Andrew Harris.
Good morning, everybody. I don't get to come up here very often, so it's nice to see everybody. I get the privilege of introducing new residents, and we'll see if technology is on my side today as well. Here we go. We've got Joan and Drew Rothrock, and Joan is originally from Pennsylvania. She achieved her BA in early childhood education from Hood College. Joan is a retired teacher and she enjoys bridge and golf. She currently belongs to Grandmothers Against Gun Violence. Such an important thing. So way to go, Joan. Her husband, Drew, is originally from Philadelphia also. He achieved his BS in English from University of Cambridge. He's a retired scientist from the Applied Physics Lab at the University of Washington. Drew observed the decline of the Arctic sea ice using upward-looking sonar obtained from US submarines and satellite data on ice. That is a conversation in and of itself. He enjoys fishing, music, and fixing stuff, along with bridge. Both of them together have 3 kids and 4 grandkids. They've lived in Philadelphia, Maryland, India, Cambridge, England, France, and Seattle. Are they here today? Can we give a good wave? Welcome to Horizon House. Next, we have Michael Adler, and Michael is originally from Baltimore. She achieved her BA from the University of Maryland and her JD from George Washington University. Michael has worked for the Division of Legislative Analysis, the National Institutes of Health, Environmental Protection Agency, and as a mediator for the Pierce County Resolutions Center. Michael is a board member of the Association of Americans Overseas and American Women Abroad. She enjoys watercolor painting, theater, music, and singing. Michael has a son and a daughter-in-law, as well as 2 grandkids in Oregon. And she's lived all over as well: DC, Charlottesville, Virginia, Paris, and now Seattle. Michael, do you want to give a shout out and a little wave for us? Welcome to Horizon House, Michael. Next, we have Mary Newman. Mary is originally from Minneapolis, Minnesota. She holds a BA from Lawrence University in Appleton, Wisconsin. She's lived in Eugene, Oregon, and here in Seattle. She spent her career as a litigation paralegal and has done some construction work. Her interests are reading, crosswords, and jigsaw puzzles. Mary, are you here today? I thought I saw you somewhere. There we are. Welcome to Horizon House, Mary. Next, we have Catherine Innes Taylor. Catherine was born in Denver in 1954. Her family drove up an unpaved Alaskan highway in a station wagon and decided to call Alaska home. She holds a BA and an MA in history and a Master of Library and Information Science. In her career, she was a professor and a librarian at the University of Alaska Anchorage. Her interests are reading, watching professional tennis, walking, and mini road trips. She's got 2 daughters, and I'm just happy to introduce her today with a little wave over here. Welcome to Horizon House, Catherine. Next, we have Ginny Virginia Peterson. Ginny was born in New Jersey. She holds a Bachelor of Science from McGill University and an MS in Industrial Hygiene. Ginny is a retired safety officer at HP, and she's a member of the League of Women Voters and the National Alliance of Mental Illness. Ginny has a son and 2 teenage grandchildren, and she's lived in New York, San Francisco, Delaware, Montreal, New Hampshire, Tacoma, and Seattle. Boy, they're all over the place, I tell you. Are you here today, Jenny? Welcome to Horizon House, Jenny. Finally, I have Jane Steedle with us. Jane was born in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and she holds a master's in social work. Jane spent her career in the field of research. She currently is a website mediator for Raptor Resource Project and a member of the FCNL and American Bird Conservancy. That was a lot for me to say. Jane's interests are Major League Baseball, and yes, a big Major League Baseball fan, bird watching, and of course, chess. She has 2 siblings, one in Maryland and one in Oregon, and she's lived in San Francisco as well as here in Seattle. Are you here, Jane, today? I thought I saw you. There you are. Welcome to Horizon House, Jane. That is all I have today from the sales office, other than Valerie will be back next week. I'm excited to have her back. She's been in Italy, so she gets to come back. I would like to introduce Alex Tibbetts at this time to come on up and talk about our brand new CEO Inbound. Thank you.
This is my first fireside chat, and I pictured we'd be out there and it would be very small, so I didn't really know the whole microphone thing, but it's so nice to see everyone introduced and hear about people's backgrounds. I've been on the board for 2 years, maybe a bit more than that, but my first year I really wasn't here because of COVID. And so now I can come more, but I'm also pulled into work more. So I work full time at YouTube. And go to the office, which is Google in Fremont. I have 2 children. One's in college at Berkeley and has just finished her junior year. And I have a son at the Northwest School, which is right in this neighborhood. So I feel like I'm here a lot, which is nice. And there's synergy. So first fireside chat, but I've been to the Monday market, which I love. And my husband bought me that Hermes typewriter that was there for several months. So that's now adorning my kitchen. And when people come over, I try to get them to write a poem on the typewriter. I have little index cards next to it. Anyway, this has really enriched my life. Thank you so much for having me as part of the community. What I want to talk about is the CEO search. So I'd heard so much about Sarah and the love that people had for Sarah. And I could see that there was a lot of love for Mike too. And so this idea of doing a CEO search was daunting, but the best we could do is just get started really early and have good partners and have good process. And what we were looking for was, everyone thought it was a unicorn. How can you find someone that can hold all these competing priorities and these dualities in mind at the same time? Like you want someone who has vision, but you also want them to be practical. You want them to have a long-term strategy, but also care about the here and now. You want them to think about the staff and the residents. You want to think about inside Horizon House, but also the broader community and how we're connecting outside Horizon House in Seattle, in Washington, and even nationally. So we got started, and now I want to go to the slide. I'm not sure how to do this though. Just click here. Side. Okay, so this was we had a partner which was a specialist in searching for executive roles in continuing care communities, and they reached out to 2,000 potential candidates over LinkedIn and email. They had interest from over 250 different people. They found 80 interested candidates that they actually vetted and selected from that 12 that were presented to the board. The board selected 7 of those 12 to do a first round of interviews. And then we narrowed it down to 3 potential candidates that we thought met the qualifications and could potentially be successful here. We further narrowed it down to 2 finalists, and it is these 3 candidates that went through multiple, I don't know how many people they talked to, but if I ballparked it, it would be well over 25, 35, 40 people that were residents, staff, and board members. It's probably even more than that. So I hope that many of you have already gotten to meet Erica. But she really stood out as unanimous in the top choice. I say what impressed me the most about her was the combination of warmth and analytical ability. I really think she connects well with people and easily, and lots of different kinds of people, and that no task is above her or beneath her. So I hope that we can do a series. I hope we can welcome her for years to come. We can welcome her in many different ways, and support her and help her be successful here and lead the place the way we hope it can be led. Oh, the last thing I was going to do is maybe read her leadership philosophy. I don't know. I hope I'm not taking up too much time, but I'll stay till the end if anyone has questions. But I thought she shared a leadership philosophy in one of the many hoops we set for her to jump through. I believe that residents have the ultimate voice and an organization's purpose is to help residents actualize whatever living their best life means to them. I believe the people who work for you are as important as the people you work for, because without a great team to deliver high quality services and care, we can't serve residents. And treating stakeholders exceptionally well is the key to having strong occupancy, a strong workforce, a strong community, and industry ties. If you place your focus on treating people well, business will thrive, revenue will be generated from operations, philanthropy, and partnerships. She has a really strong public presence. She's very easy to find on the internet. If you want to look up more about her and see her photos, there's probably videos of her out there. She's very engaged in Leading Age, the industry association. And I think it's going to be a challenge to have her focus here more. Like, we are probably a bigger challenge than where she is now. I find that when in my role, when I get a little bored at work, I like go out and engage in the community more. So I think that she'll have to tamp down some of that international engagement for a while she focuses here. But ultimately, I really hope that Horizon House can be a model internationally for the best way this can be done. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. So nice to see everybody.
And next we have Joan. Here she is.
Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is well today. Okay, so wow, here I am. Give a little report. I'm going to talk a little bit about gratitude today because I've been feeling a lot of it lately, and it has to do with you all. But first, some updates. Some work in progress. I'm in process now with the 2022 annual report. And of course, that is the vehicle for giving overall financial reporting about Horizon House for the year 2022. It's an opportunity to acknowledge donors to our philanthropy programs and to report those results, those financial results. But it's also a vehicle for sharing with the community, both internally and externally. We want to highlight stories, showcase things that go on in Horizon House. And importantly, last year, I made the decision to start sending it out to our wait list, which has about 400 people on it. So it's also a marketing tool that gives people an additional look inside life at Horizon House. So that will be coming soon, one of these days soon. Emily Wallace has begun the detailed process of the July publication of the Horizon House directory. It's quite a detailed process. As you know, she does a wonderful job with it, and she will be communicating with you June 6th for you to begin updating your contact information if you have it. I'd like to mention that a big theme this year has been knowing more about assisted living. The Mental Health Advisory Group and Jack Carr's presentations have been instrumental in that process. And I just want to let you know, well, first I want to mention that I hope some of you have benefited from talking with Amanda Rubel, the assisted living transitions manager, or attended one of her presentations or conversations in the Fireside Lounge. Very helpful. She's also actually going to be maintaining a bulletin board in the mailroom that will have some photos and different information about Horizon House or about assisted living. I'd also like to let you know that finally, we have assisted living print materials, okay? Yay! Those include an overview, admission information, the admission process, care level assessment information, costs, life enrichment information, and frequently asked questions. So Amanda will be the holder of the information for your use. I'd like to mention the beautiful new photos of residents. I don't know if you've noticed the uptick in quality, but Taylor Campbell, who is our communications coordinator, is also a talented photographer, and she is helping sales by taking portraits of the new residents, and I think they are absolutely stunning. Yay! Last, now that you can get kind of bored. Now that HH Connect has launched, I'm starting to work on another website, which will be the external website, the one that the public goes to learn about Horizon House. That is in process, and this is kind of where the gratitude comes in. Websites nowadays really make use of video. And we've never had any video on a Horizon House website. So part of my process is wanting to incorporate our community into the website. And so, okay, going to do videos. All right. So I wanted to have real residents, not like models or pretend residents. But I had a little trepidation because I didn't know, are people going to want to do this? Are they going to go, oh, no, I don't know. Not interested. And so I was a little worried, but what I have to say is that I was absolutely delighted with the response. So I want to thank the following people. I'm going to read their names because it deserves to be called out. Now, some of these were scheduled. Some of them, a few of them were impromptu. Like I'm looking at Bill Kepper here. Hey, Bill, can you stand here and do this? Great, fine. So Sarah Blumenthal, Ellen Carlin, Chef Steve Carlson, Byron Carr and his Thursday 11 o'clock Tai Chi class, Danny and Jack Carr, Bill Coriston, George Counts, Marianne Counts, Les Cox, Pam Daly, Karen Fern, Jim and Pat Fitzgerald, Anne Marie Godson, Jim Hitter, Marcy Hobbs, Elizabeth Hoover, Bill Kepper, Ned Lang, Nancy and Neil McReynolds, Fran Mercer, Dan Madigan, Marion Mura, Nancy Najelski, John Shadoff, Jim Spraker, the String-Alongs. These two columns were the subject of a series of vignettes that will be put together to form a video montage. Next week will be Nancy Copes, George Count, Randy Everett, and Gary Fuller, who haven't even moved in yet. Floyd Hutton, Doris Ray, Bill and Carol Roach, and Jim and Mary Jo Stroh are going to appear in sort of a Talking Heads video. So only a couple people, because they had prior appointments, couldn't participate. Everybody else said yes. It blew my mind. And it was delightful. And I want to thank these folks for showing good humor, a spirit of fun. Those 2 days last week were probably some of the funnest days that I've spent at Horizon House. Everyone was patient, flexible. It was a real team effort. We did multiple takes of things. And, Chef Steve, okay, like we wanted him flambeing something. So he's at the stove and it's like, okay, whoosh, he gets the flames going. And then, the filmmakers go, can you make that more, make the flames higher? So he's got this bottle of Bacardi rum and he's pouring it on vegetables. And so don't be surprised if you see a new dish in the dining room called Bacardi vegetables. Okay. I mean, just so many things. Umpteen takes, Jack and Danny Carr. Okay. Now do it like this, but act like you're more happy to see these people. Okay, can you do it again? Nancy, can you laugh a little more? Okay, you guys need to stand over here. It was quite a process. But what I felt, and this is the gratitude, I feel like to me, the process and being out in the community and seeing so many of you, it felt like Horizon House has kind of turned a corner. There's more of live events. There's more going on. It's the sunshine, it's retirement community week. But I just felt like what a wonderful community. And it's positive and it's happy. And let's keep that up. I want to cry because it's so great. And as a matter of fact, the owner of Playfish Media, our video company, she was here and she's just like, I love this place. Everybody is so great. Wow. Gosh, how old do you have to be to move in? I said, well, 62. And she's like, 42. Okay. It's like, Jillian, you've got a ways to wait, but we do have a wait list. You can put your deposit in. I'll have her call you, Andrew. So needless to say, thank you all. Thank you all. It's just been wonderful. So next, HH Connect, a few things. Really, really grateful for the enthusiastic response. It was a lot of work and we appreciate it more than we can say that you are engaging with it and it's a helpful tool. Please, Emily Wallace is conducting ongoing orientations. If you're having some troubles navigating, because it's different, okay, it looks different. And sometimes things aren't obvious. Please, in the alert, they're listed. Please attend an orientation if you're having any questions about HH Connect at all. I want to talk about just a few common questions and also talk to you a little bit about the bulletin board on HH Connect. Oh, this is what I have to do. Hang on. Is this going to open for me, Risa? The link. Somebody sing a song. No, that's not it. Ah! Okay, we're going to give this one more whirl.
Is it showing on the screen, Mika?
No, it's a live link. I know it.
Well,
Yes. The site. Yes, me.
can't get out of the windows, Mika. Okay. Oh,
Hi.
testing,
I
testing.
see myself.
It's not working.
Murphy's Law, you know.
Your login.
Joan H. Let's connect. I think it's Joan Hudson, capital J, capital H. My whole name. Not there. Joan H is there, but Joan Hudson is down here. Capital J, capital H. There it goes. Ha!
I have to share that? I can see it here, but it won't duplicate. Won't duplicate. Because this. Oh, do I need to stop share from back there? No, no, the controls are all back there, not this fan.
Oh,
We didn't know
okay.
you were opening the
Didn't know that.
Yeah, we didn't know you were gonna open the
Okay.
website.
Let's bag it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bag it.
Okay, stay here.
Huh? What? Go back. No. No, it's okay, you guys.
It's going slowly, but we're getting there.
I don't want to.
Yeah, I'm trying to get us to our slides now. Say it again.
So everyone, never mind.
Thanks, Joan.
Murphy's Law, right? Just go to an orientation. Emily will be happy to explain it all for you, okay? So there you have it. Thank you. And now, there'll be the Fall Prevention Survey Overview from the UW Master of Occupational Therapy folks.
Oh, just this side clicker,
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me get you. Let us get you back on the right screen. All right. So
Okay.
right side.
Perfect, thank you.
There you go.
No worries. Great. Hello. Thank you, Joan. Hard to follow an act of energy like that. So we are so excited to be back here again today. We just wanted to give a quick overview, just to refresh of what we did last year with Horizon House, in the last year with Horizon House. So we're UW graduate students in occupational therapy. And we have been working with Horizon House since last fall to improve their fall prevention program. So we collaborated with members of the Wellness Committee. Shout out to the Wellness Committee for all the ongoing help over the last year. And we administered a survey. We had designed a survey that would ask about fall risk factors, things that can contribute to lessening or increasing your falls. And we administered that survey to the independent living population here. And we had a whopping 55% response rate. 228 people completed that survey. So thank you so much to everyone. It was a huge, huge turnout to get that large of a sample size. And it's really great because that has allowed us to get a baseline of
kind of where people are in terms of fall risk and highlight some of the factors that might be contributing to that. And I'll turn it over to Julia.
Right. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to talk about that was on the survey is near misses. A near miss is when somebody almost falls and catches themselves or recovers from a loss of balance. As you can see here in the green, 93 people said that they have had near misses. That's 41% of respondents. And that is double the amount of people who reported a fall, which is 42 people. That's 19% in the green again. Alyssa and Amy are going to go a little bit more in depth on the respondents who reported a fall. Let me go back to near misses. Without intervention, these near misses could turn into falls in the future. This is a good opportunity for a workshop on safe falling. We actually did have one resident say that the Tai Chi class really helped with recovering from a fall. Yeah, so reducing falls is our primary objective, but it's also really important to make falls less detrimental because, of course, we can't prevent all falls. The next one we have here. All right, in the green, 131 people, which is 58% of people reported feeling unsteady when walking. And then 112 people, which is 49% of all respondents, reported that they had trouble stepping up onto a curb or walking on an uneven surface. This data speaks a lot to concern. I mean, and it's an area of concern for dynamic balance. We encourage you guys to take advantage of the Beam Center. And the Dividat Senso balance machine that's new. We chatted with the wellness director again about maybe doing some more demos and some more education around that so that knowing how to use the machine is not a barrier to any of the residents. Also, we want to emphasize that direct access to OT and PT through Infinity Rehab is something you guys can all do.
Okay, so this question was about incontinence, and we found that 82 people reported that they experienced incontinence. And this was one of the more significant findings we saw because it affected such a large group of residents, as you can see, just over a third. So we just wanted to highlight this because it's a big fall risk factor that not many people are aware of, and a lot of people seem to be experiencing it. So because we saw that it affects many people, we wanted to highlight a few things that you can do, sorry, that you can do to help with this. So 2 things. First, you can talk to your doctor if you have concerns. And then second, you can see a PT or an OT. Both PTs and OTs can help with managing incontinence by providing exercises to strengthen muscles, and then also by providing strategies like teaching you ways to delay urgency or changing the environment to avoid rushing to the bathroom. So something like maybe setting a commode up at the edge of the bed or something like that. And like Julia said, to see a PT or OT, you can go directly to Infinity Rehab and they can get a referral for you. So you don't have to go through your doctor. Oh. Okay, and then here we asked about the amount of medications that you take. And again, over 1/3 of people responded saying that they take 5 or more medications. And we asked this question because in the research, people have a higher chance of falling when they take 5 or more prescription medications. And we didn't include the word prescription in this question, which was a limitation on our end. So we don't actually know if these responses are prescription medications or over-the-counter medications. But we still wanted to highlight this so people could be aware of a potentially increased fall risk. And then here, this question was about environmental factors that can cause falls. So low lighting or throw rugs or clutter on the floor. And we saw that most of you said you didn't notice any of these things in your apartments. So that's great. And that means you all are doing a great job managing your environments. So keep that up. And even though this is good news, though, we still want you all to know that OTs are trained in identifying fall hazards in the home. So if you have any questions, Rachel, the occupational therapist here with Infinity Rehab, can do a home safety assessment and make recommendations to help you reduce your fall risk.
So these next few questions are specifically for those people who responded that they had fallen. And of all the people who filled out the survey, we had 42 people or 19% that said they had fallen in the last 6 months. So what happened with those falls? The majority of the falls were because of a loss of balance. 56% of people said it was a loss of balance. It could have been an uneven sidewalk, a curb, perhaps tripping over a cord in their apartment. The next largest response was for just a loss of balance, perhaps getting dressed, feeling dizzy, maybe while out walking, just lost your balance. And then the last 5% were of various reasons. Perhaps you had hip surgery or hip gave out or something like that. So we broke down where were these falls happening. We wanted to know what was happening inside of Horizon House, what was happening outside of Horizon House. What we found was that the blue 53.3% are those falls within Horizon House. The bathroom is the location where most people reported having fallen. On the outside of Horizon House, that's also of interest. The red 37.8% goes down to the bottom right where it breaks it down further there. And one thing to highlight there is that over half of the falls outside Horizon House were due to uneven sidewalks. And that's something important because Horizon House can have an advocacy effect on the local municipality, maintaining the sidewalks, making sure that you get somebody out there to, if a tree is pushed up the sidewalk, it gets shaved down, that the curbs are well marked. Some of this happened in construction areas, people be walking around, having a safe detour around those construction areas. So we saw that although it's not here in Horizon House, it's something Horizon House could also help affect.
Okay, so to close it out, I'm going to get into a little bit more about detail among the people that reported having fallen in the last 6 months. Excuse me. So we looked at how those people answered on some of the other questions that we had asked in the survey about fall risk factors. And I'll just highlight a couple of the key points here. But 66%, which is really similar to all respondents, said that they felt unsteady walking and had trouble stepping up onto a curb. And that's consistent with the reasons that we saw people reporting for why they had fallen. And then about half of people talked about having some sort of vision difficulties and also taking 5 or more medications. And then 40% also of the people who fell said that they experienced incontinence. So these were just factors that we wanted to highlight as possible contributing factors among those who've fallen for people to focus on. And then these are some areas that seem to be going pretty well that can help mitigate fall risk. So we saw a lot of people saying that they take vitamin D and calcium together, which has been proven to reduce your risk. Wearing appropriate shoes both inside and outside of apartments, which include rubber soles and then some sort of strap or back, so not slip-ons. That's supposed to be also pretty important. And then getting at least 30 minutes of exercise a day. So this is great for the people doing this already, keep it up. And then good areas to focus on if people haven't yet thought about these things. And then finally, we asked all the survey respondents how worried people are about falling. We wanted to sort of get a sense of how the community feels. And over 50% of people talked about having falling on their minds, which is helpful because some of the factors that do affect your fall risk are within your control to improve with the right resources. And so we've talked over the last year about a lot of the resources that Horizon House has in place to support you. And what they want to continue to build up to better support you. So we definitely want to encourage, of course, everyone to take advantage of those. And so, yeah, we hope that this has been helpful to see. And we appreciate all the participation that we've had from all the residents, all the interest and the support from the organization that we've had throughout this project. And then looking to the future, the leadership team here is exploring the possibility of continuing this collaborative effort with another cohort possibly of OT students, to continue to support everyone as best they can with your safety and your autonomy. So thank you so much for the time. We're going to have Andrew Hill, Wellness Director, up. We just said that the leadership at Horizon House is exploring the possibility of working with another cohort of students because we're graduating in a couple weeks, but they might be able to do another project over the next year. They're hoping to continue working more on fall prevention here. Yeah, thanks.
Hello, everyone. How are we doing? I'm here to do a bunch of exercise, so everybody stand up. Okay, well, I tried. Really quick, thank you again to the UW occupational therapy students. They've been a huge help to us that we really are, with this information, are going to continue to move forward with. I'm going to be very quick because I know that we are a wee bit behind. So just a couple quick updates from the wellness team. I'm going to talk about some office change, an enrichment grant that we got, the fall survey follow-up, and then if you remember in March, we did a fitness assessment. So I'll do a little bit of data on that. So first, if you haven't noticed already, my office has moved. I'm in the kitchen. So in the gym, I can't cook. So it's going to be a problem, but you can come in if you want to. I have a microwave. So currently I'm getting a new office. It's going to go in the old physical therapy office. And along with that, my old office is being taken over by Brian Holtz. So there's going to be some good construction going on there where my door used to be. That's going to be a wall. So you won't even be able to come in and out. Hopefully, I don't have any wood. Hopefully it'll be done in around 2 months, but I say approximately 2 months. I say 2 months on here, but we all know approximately, okay? I want to give a huge shout out to first the Enrichment Grant Committee and the philanthropy team. They were able to procure us a new multi-use medical chair in the salon therapy room. It's been amazing. It's been so great. It's the old one we used to have was all hand worked, cranked. This one can get much lower. It's all electrical, mechanical, and we can use it for multiple, like it says, uses. So we have acupuncture that can use it. We have the dental hygienist that can use it. And then hopefully an esthetician here very soon that I know that we're trying to get going. So very, very good. Next thing, kind of bouncing off of the occupational therapy students, we are going to emphasize more in classes too, that dynamic balance. Dynamic balance is when we're balancing, moving through space, right? Is there a curb? How do we step up on a curb? Are we able to feel how our body changes as we move through space? It's one thing to be able to stand on one foot, but it's another thing to be able to continually move as we are going through 1 foot moving. Okay, so again, I'm gonna add more dynamic balance in, but also we're gonna be doing ongoing with the help of Infinity Rehab fall prevention seminars. So it'll be on different topics. Maybe one month it'll be on incontinence, another month on how to get up from a fall. So we're going to continue to pump these out so that you guys have the information and knowledge to help attack fall prevention even more from your own standpoint. And then every year we're going to continue to put out that same survey that the students made, just to see how we're doing, how we can continue to make it better here at Horizon House. And then finally, the fitness assessments, they were on March 30 and 31st. One sad spot, we had 54 participants. I was hoping for more. This was right after our big, huge shutdown with all of our COVID cases. So I think it kind of got lost in the shuffle of what that was, but it still gave us some good information that we can kind of go off of. A couple highlights from it. You guys, both lower and upper body wise, are doing great strength wise, and your endurance is doing great. One area of improvement is our upper body flexibility. I found that as an average of the community, we are really tight in our upper bodies. I don't know if it's from all of our time watching TV, typing on the computer, looking at our phones. I see you guys looking on your phones just like these kids. So in our classes, I'm really gonna stress upper body stretching. We have another fitness assessment coming up because we're doing it 2 times a year in September. When we get closer to that date, because I know if I announce it now, even I will forget. But as we get closer to that date, I'll make sure it's out there for you guys to remember and try to do. That is it for me. Up next is Brittany Hallett with assisted living updates. Thank you, guys.
Hello, everybody. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay. I'd prefer to keep my mask on because there's a lot of people, okay? But I can get close to the microphone if that works for you all. So just for assisted living updates, what's going on here? Oh, better? Like that? Okay, sorry. So we have had the renovations department room turnovers. What? The room turnovers. Can you hear me? Ooh, that's much better. Okay, thank you. Okay, so assisted living has now renovations, is doing the room turnovers. And so we have all new rooms that as they become available, that they're getting a facelift. So there's new flooring, new lighting, new paint, new cabinets, new appliances. So they're just all new apartments and they're looking very beautiful, I must say. So there's some pictures. Then I just wanted to mention some work anniversaries for some of our staff. We've got some of our evening shift memory support crew, James and Jennifer, both celebrated 5 years here. And then Maza, who works on our 3 Central day shift, she's been here for 15 years. Leonilla celebrated 5 years and Ruby celebrated 20 years. And then Sanan, who's our director of resident care, celebrated 10 years. And then you guys know last month, I think we did Lori's celebration of 25 years. So I just wanted to give them a shout out for all of their hard work and their dedication to this community. And then, of course, COVID. So if you guys did not know, there's been a lot of changes going on with the COVID regulations. On April 3rd, the Washington state mask mandate ended. On the 9th of May, the federal COVID public health emergency ended. And that means that Washington state had to figure out how they wanted to align their regulations with the national regulations. And so they decided to match what CDC recommends. And CDC recommended for assisted living to actually decrease our restrictions. And so that has been something that has been a big change for us, but it's pretty exciting as well. We all now follow what's called the COVID-19 hospital admission levels. It was previously called the community levels. And so this is a newer thing for us. And that just changed over on May 11th. So we'll be basing up our policies and interventions based upon whatever those levels are. The big news is that visitors are welcome. Visitors can come and eat in the dining room with our residents, which has been a really big thing that we couldn't have. And so I'm really excited to have you guys come back and come visit and dine with our residents up in assisted living. Just some things that we're continuing to do. All residents and staff are still strongly encouraged to be up to date with the vaccinations, meaning that they have at least 1 bivalent booster. If they are up to date, then they can take their mask off. It is optional. All visitors are encouraged to be up to date with their vaccinations. Masks are optional. And of course, ongoing if they feel ill to not come in. I already talked about the visitors dining in the common spaces, and we are continuously in contact with our local health jurisdiction, which is King County Public Health and the Department of Health. And so if we have an outbreak, if there are any cases, we talk to them to discuss what interventions, what we need to change. Let's see here. We continue to screen all of our residents daily for signs and symptoms of COVID, and staff are tested at least once a week, which is more than the recommendation. Staff continue to
follow infection control practices like our hand hygiene, cough etiquette, staying home when ill, and then our cleaning and disinfecting procedures. Any staff who is suspected, any resident who is suspected of having COVID-19 is then on isolation, and we follow the CDC guidelines for the isolation. And I already told you that we continue to partner with King County. And we have sent out the memo for the COVID booster for all of our assisted living residents. We get wonderful participation in assisted living. And so we'll be doing the booster clinic on the 31st for our AL residents. And now I'm going to pass it off to Ildiko, who's the Director of Life Enrichment.
Hello. A lot of good news and a lot of information have been shared. So I just would like to show a couple of pictures. I put together some thoughts, but the point is, yes, we do feel the gratitude on assisted living. And thank you so much for sharing such a love and care. And it's just not coming from you. It's coming from visitors, vendors, and team members. And it's been great to be here and to feel this joy, especially since mid-March, since we returned to total normal life. We run activities in group, one-on-one, and it's refreshing. And if you would like to be part of it, feel free. We have a lot of opportunities, not just to spontaneously come and join us, but through the assisted living committees, we have friendly visitors, we have escort helpers, musicians, and activity helpers. And in the 60+ committees, these 4 are in active collaboration with the life enrichment team and our daily life. So just a quick reference for friendly visitors, please reach out to Perry Flowers. For escort committee, if you would like to come and help us to take residents whenever we go off of the floor, that's Nancy Brett. If you would like to share your musical talents, please reach out to Georgia Nelson. And for activity helpers, Jen Coriston. This is not a recruitment. I'm not recruiting. We just would like to know that we welcome everyone. If you have free time, if you have interest, or you would like to share your talents. These people are still part of the community and they want to stay connected to you. And let's see how does it look like. So these pictures been taken since January to May. Oh, this is how it started in January. Or visitation when someone is in isolation. And we go do and visit and it's safe. On the bottom picture, you can see Mariko with art therapy and the Chinese New Year. And in February, we have the Washington Talking Book Libraries Outreach Coordinator coming and visiting us. This is a special program for low vision support and or exercise. As you can see, the GEM grant exercise cart is in action 5 days a week on 2 floors. And music therapy, International Women's Day, and Elder Grow. Elder Grow is in action 2 times per month. Easter, it was a big hit. Easter Arts and Crafts and Easter Egg Hunt. Serafina is our volunteer. And Serafina has been in service for about 8-9 years. And Serafina comes weekly. And this is how much we love Serafina. That was our Easter treat for the staff, especially night shift. When Brittany and Kat and myself are here early in the morning, that's Tuesdays. This is when we meet with night shift. And Mike or other leaders comes once a month. We have this Fireside chat assisted living version when we share information with assisted living residents. And yes, we return to the Wednesday night live. Yay. And our last big event was when we took 42 residents up to the Sky Lounge for Mother's Day. And Drusilla just got up and sang. And then they stayed longer and they did it in choir. Our pianist is wonderful. So that's it. Thank you so much. The next speaker is Jeff Tony.
All right, everyone. Thank you, Ildiko. It was really nice. And I'm going to kind of follow up with some more pictures here. Let's see here. Well, I'll start off by just talking about kind of our last couple of events we did. We had our Eat Smart Buffet, and that is an event we put on. We partner with the Nutritional Committee, and we've been focusing on blue zones. And if you're not familiar with blue zones, the term refers to a geographic areas in which people have low rates of chronic disease and live longer than anywhere else. So the one we did last month was based on the menu from Greece, from the Icarian region. A couple of the menu highlights was the longevity pie and the, let's see if I can pronounce this right, the karanthopita, the spiced walnut cake, which was a big hit. Sous Chef Ben baked that himself the day of, and it was a great event. We had a happy hour go on before it. Chef Ben and Jessica, our dietitian, gave a little presentation about the menu and the area and everything that goes along with that. And it was a really good event. Our next one is scheduled for July 20th, which will be featuring food from Okinawa, Japan. So please look for that. It's going to be a great event and we'll have a good time. So here are some pictures from that. We had some nice decoration. We had our bar set up. I brought some Greek wines in that we served that night. And it was a really nice event. Moving on, we have Mother's Day brunch, which was a big hit. We have Oliver back with his display and decoration, which is really nice. The food was great, and it was a really fun event as well. Look for Father's Day coming up and Memorial Day as well. I wanted to just hit on reservations really quick, talking about reservations in the terrace dining room, since we've kind of moved back to plated dinners and lunches every 7 days a week. We do recommend making reservations on Open Table. It helps with the flow of the dining room and making sure that we have, tables and are ready for everybody. You can do that on HH Connect. So in the right there, you move your mouse over the dining at the top of the page, click reservations. There are directions and the calendar right there for you to make your reservations. If you are having any issues making reservations with that system, I'm more than happy to help you go through the process. I've had many residents bring their laptop down or just come down and we'll work on the computer that I have at the host stand and I can kind of go through the process with you. We also have recently started leaving a sign-up sheet at the host stand there. I know we don't always have someone at the host stand to take reservations if you're trying to do that in person. So please utilize that list, put your name on that. It does not necessarily guarantee a reservation for that date and time, but we will do our best to make that happen. Continuing with reservations for the private dining room, we were getting a lot more action in there, which is fantastic. And there's been a little confusion on how we go about that process. So the first step you want to do if you want to reserve the private dining room is to get with the concierge. She reserves all the other rooms. So we felt it was just best to have it all done with that. And then we get an email notifying that the room has been reserved and Janine will be in touch with you to kind of set up the menu and all the other details for your party. So please utilize that. If you have any questions about any other things and how that works, let us know and I'll be happy to help you with that. And then finally, Memorial Day is coming up on Monday. So just a reminder to everybody, we're doing a nice barbecue down on the B1 Parkview Terrace from 11:30 to 2. Do know, as most holidays, we won't be having dinner service in the dining room. No lunch service will be in there as well. It'll be all down on the terrace there for the barbecue. If you are wanting to sit somewhere and there's not a lot of seating down there, I have no issue if people want to go back up into the dining room with their food and eat up there. That's fine. Just know you won't have a service up there. And then if you're looking for the menu, it will be at the end of the menu packet that comes out today and on HH Connect. And that is all I got. Next is Brian Holtz with operations update. Yeah. Oh, one question real quick. Did I have the wrong date? Look at that. So May 29th, not May 30th. Thank you, Ms. Mitchell.
Yeah. Thank you, Jeff. You know, I have to follow Jeff. He's talking about all the fun stuff and food and things like that. And I have operations updates. So thank you for hanging with us to get these awesome operation updates. And Jeff's pretty happy because isn't your basketball team still alive in the NBA final? He's a big sports fan. So the Kraken knocked them off, their hockey team off, but that's okay. The NBA team is still going. So I want to talk about a policy that is new for the community. And we have things that we do through the practices of what we've been doing and the expectations that we have. And gosh, the leadership sat down and looked at each other and said, we do not have a written policy for independent service providers in the organization. So this is a new policy that we put together because, as you know, because you may use outside individuals or entities to assist you with finance or other services. That's what this policy is about. It's designed to inform you, the residents, and these outside organizations and individuals what the expectations are while they're working for you and while being in the community and working in the community. And so it was very logical and easy for us to come to the conclusion that we need this to protect the residents and the community. So independent service providers hired by residents fall into two categories. The first one, we already have a long-standing policy on private caregivers, home health, outpatient therapy, hospice, counseling, and therapy. We have had that policy around for a long time for the community. Executive tasks, including bookkeeping, personal shopping, decorating, moving, appraisals, pet groomers, housekeeping, technology support, etc. That is what this policy is falling into, those individuals that are providing services for the residents. And so what they must do, these persons who are providing services for you must, very logical, and it's what the expectations have always been, but now it's in a policy that they must adhere to the policies and procedures that we have in the community. They must follow the Horizon House Code of Conduct, that we also have all of this for the vendors that are, say, working for me as a plumber or are working in a remodel of an apartment. So all of the contractors that work for Horizon House, the company, follow all of these as well. And that they, of course, must abide by all the local, county, state, and laws and regulations. And so the responsibility for them, that if they have some kind of agreement with you, of course you would want, and we expect that they uphold that written agreement that they have with you. And so that is part of our policy, is that if you have an agreement with them, we expect them to maintain that. And of course, as any visitors that come, we want them to sign in and out as part of the process that we have. Just like if there's an electrician working for me in one of our mechanical spaces, they can't go around and solicit business from you. We don't allow people to come in and do soliciting within the community. And we ask that these folks don't do that as well. And that they're only on campus when they're doing the work for the residents in the community, that they're not here otherwise or soliciting. We don't have a plumber sit out at the coffee bar, just like these independent service providers. We ask that they not do that as well. So a lot of that is what our expectations have always been. And Generally, that has always been the way that these independent service providers are. However, we now have this in a written policy so that we all understand and we can ensure that those expectations are met. And then what we ask of you as a resident, that you collaborate with us to ensure that those are carried out. So if you hear that, or you're aware that this provider is not adhering to those, that then if we have something come up, that you'll collaborate with us to ensure that we're protecting you and protecting the community in a way that's appropriate for these individuals in our community that are working for the residents. And then again, we do not recommend or endorse any of these providers, and that if you have an agreement with them, that's between you and that individual, and that all the risks associated with that is that relationship that you have with that independent service provider. And so I can develop a summary of this policy. You probably don't need to see the way that we have it formatted for us behind the curtain. That then will be provided to all of the residents so that you can see that, because we ask that you share this with service providers, because we don't necessarily know or are aware of all those individual and service providers that are providing support to you. And so we are running long. So if you do have questions afterwards, certainly that I can be available to answer any questions afterwards. And I don't have any updates on elevator 2. I take that back. Elevator 2 has been down. The material on site. So we anticipate elevator 2 getting up very soon. So we're hoping by next week. So thank you for your patience on that. Next, I'm introducing a couple amazing residents that help with some leadership in our philanthropy and collaborate with staff, Karen Lane and Patty Flowers.
Good morning. Good morning. We're back. Yay, team. If you were here Tuesday, I hope you did come to the happy hour. It was really terrific. It was kind of nice getting another happy hour. We, of course, are partners in caring, and we just wanted to remind you about this philanthropic program that we have. As you can tell, we've received over $255,000 in gifts and pleasure, pledges. I'm trying to go fast. That's a bad way. And it's a year-long program, and no amount of money is too small or too large, as a matter of fact. Okay, to remind you what your gift supports, I'm going to do this quickly. Residence assistance is the big part of your gift, and it goes to residents who, through no fault of their own, have run out of money to stay at Horizon House. It also goes to staff scholarships, and we're going to talk more about that. And it goes to enrichment grants. And that we will talk about at a later time. Our goal is $480,000. So that will be coming up. But as we said, it's a year-long program. Now, what have we got? The staff scholarship backs. This to me is one of I love the residence assistance, but I also love the staff scholarship programs, because this is a way for us to tell them how much we appreciate them, give them an opportunity to explore new things. And as you notice, it's changed this year. This year, we actually have spent already $37,000, and that's going to go up. The total number of staff right now using the scholarships is 10, but look at the next one, total number of dependents. This year, 2 children from each family can get scholarships too. And they did it because they noticed that what most people that work here, they didn't have time to go to school, but they were working to enable their children to have a better life. And this will do that. Their children can use those scholarships to do it. And look at all the different places that people have applied for these scholarships. It's really terrific. And I think this is you.
Thank you very much. This part of the program is
warms my heart, I think, almost more than any other, though they are all important. Laura Salim came into the kickoff of this program this year and talked to us about her gratitude for this opportunity. She is the daughter of Oji, who works in the valet service. Whoops, got that. Thank you. This is what she said. I'd like to thank the residents and staff of Horizon House for administering this scholarship. It's a very huge help. I can put my sole focus on my education and not worry about the burden of student debt. And just like my dad said, it's like a gift from God. Thank you. And with that, we will, I think, end this. So let me just say, your gift matters, whether it's large or small. And we very much encourage you and welcome your contributions. Thank you so very much.
Now it's on. Okay, thank you. All right, yes, I am next. Okay, wow, I was on vacation for 2 weeks in the first part of May and I missed a lot. There's been a lot going on here and it was really fun to see all those activities. Okay, a few announcements here to wrap us up. The Booster Clinic. So Booster Clinic is coming next Wednesday and next Saturday. Available to everybody, really, residents and staff. If you are 65 and older, you are eligible for your second bivalent booster. If you've already had one, you can get a second one. You do need to sign up at the reception center. There is a form that you have to fill out, bring with you, as well as your insurance card, and then you can get your first or second bivalent booster. And this is just sort of a heads up of things to come. We are in the process of upgrading our Wi-Fi system, the resident Wi-Fi system. It will be a more secure system for you. You'll hear more about it in the summer, but this is just sort of a preview of things that are to come. And then all of the fun activities I missed. So Resident Retirement Community Week last week looked great. This is a picture of the bake sale. Thank you to all the bakers and everybody who participated. We raised over $1,600 for the Employee Emergency Fund. So that is really, really impressive. And some more smiling faces of our staff during the Retirement Community Week. Oops. Don't want to miss those portraits. I thought those are awesome pictures. I think Joan mentioned the upgrade in the portrait photography, and oh my gosh, these are just wonderful photos. So thanks for sharing those. All right, so that's all I have. Anybody have any questions? Mary. Oh, the Risa, well, okay, farmer's market. When was the farmer's market starting?
From what I understand, the farmer's market's going to start mid-July and go through September.
And it will be in the Virginia Mason, or do we know yet?
I'm not sure if it's going to be on 9th or Linderman Pavilion area yet.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. We don't know where yet, so coming. In the back there? To be determined. The question was, will there be another booster clinic coming after this one coming up, these two? To be determined. We have to work with the pharmacy to make sure, of course, that they have enough supply for it. Then we have to work on the date. So hopefully those who are here can participate, and then we'll see what the need is for that second round.
I was pleased to have the update about our incoming CEO, but when will we have, all the rest of us, have a chance to meet with her? When will she be on campus?
Her first day, as I understand it, is July 10th, that she will be on site in Horizon House. So we're working on an onboarding schedule for her that will include, obviously meeting with all of you, hopefully small groups as well as a large group. I don't know all the specifics, but I do know the week of July 10th is when her first week is. Okay. Any other questions? All right. Well, thank you all for coming. Can't believe another month has gone by, and we will see you next month.